Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out the UK beauty spot tourists avoid! Exclamation mark. Okay. Right, cool. Turd Towns, y'all. Be sure to go to Turd Towns and like and subscribe. When I emailed Turd Towns to ask if I could post reactions to their videos, the guy said, "You know what, mate? Go for it. My only requirement is that you have fun." And then he signed it Turdy. I guess his name's Turdy. Maybe. Like.
Alright, welcome back to Turd Towns, the channel that shines a light on some of the lesser known places in the UK.
Great.
Usually for bad, but today it's for good reasons. The Lake District. I'm sure you've all heard of it. It's the most famous holiday destination in northern England, specifically northwest England in the county of Cumbria. It's full of crystal clear lakes, mountains as far as your eyes can see, and gormless tourists limping around on walking sticks.
Gormless? Did he say gormless? I've never heard that word, y'all. Let's look it up. Also, gormless. What does that mean? Lacking sense or initiative. Foolish. Wow. Gormless. So what does gorm mean? Does that mean the opposite, I guess? Gorm means attention or awareness. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. It's following the rules of English, I guess. Show me on a motherfucking map. The Lake District. Right. There it is. All these lakes. Can you see them from space? Oh, oh. No? Satellite. Satellite. You can see these lakes from space, y'all. Let's zoom in a little closer to this particular one. Oh, yeah. Friar's Crag. Show me some photos of Friar's Crag. Wow. Oh, beautiful. A movie? Oh, those waves. Wow, it almost looks like an ocean. It's so huge. Those mountains. Wow. Beautiful clouds. A boat. Another movie? Yeah. Yeah, I see why people go to the Lake District. It makes sense. I would go there. I would be a gormless tourist.
It is England's largest national park, covering an area of 2,362 square kilometres and has around 17 million visitors a year. Many of these people visit to hike up the mountains, with the tallest mountain in England, Scafell Pike, situated here. Water sports...
Scaffold Pike. Scaffold Pike. I like that it's called Scaffold Pike, like a... Oh, Scaffold Pike. I thought it meant... Wow, I thought it was scaffold, like... Scaffolding. Okay. Yes. For being the tallest point, it's surprisingly close to the coast. Isn't it? Show me photo. Oh, wow. Gorgeous. Show me a movie. Oh, there's music. Alright, enough of that. I don't want a curated, production. I just want... Wow. That looks like Iceland or something, doesn't it? Oh, there are all the gormless tourists. Okay, another movie. I'm getting Grand Canyon vibes, you know? Oh, wow. It's actually good to have the people in here for size reference, you know? Beautiful. Amazing. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Am I looking up or am I looking down? Which way's the water going? This confuses me and excites me. Okay, enough of that. Back to the video.
Also popular on the lakes, with the largest lake in England, Windermere, situated here.
Hey, on Windermere Lake. Where's Windermere Lake? Okay. It's a little southeast of the mountain we were looking at, Scafell Peak. Right?
People also visit for the apparently quaint towns of Bowness, Keswick and Ambleside. People just love visiting here. But they almost
I'm sorry to keep stopping it, but he said Bowness, Keswick.
People just
What?
visit for the apparently quaint towns of Bowness, Keswick and Ambleside.
Bonus Kensick and Ambleside. What? Oh. Oh, dope. Oh, stepping stones across. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Wow. You know, it's interesting. Some of it reminds me of what you would see in the States in Appalachia, like Bryson City in North Carolina, Asheville. Although last fall, Asheville got wiped off the map in a flood, so maybe not anymore.
People just love visiting here, but they almost never visit here. This is a huge part of the Lake District. It covers around a third of it, and the average tourist has never been here.
Wow.
This is of course the Western Lake District, and this is why nobody visits. But you probably should.
Wait. Why? It looks amazing. This valley makes me feel it's like a dream. The video hasn't even started, he said? Okay, I'm gonna let that. I'm stopping it too much. I'm realizing that now. Stopping it too much. Chill out. Just chill out, right? Just relax.
Turd
watch
Town's
the video.
drive. Now, I first became interested
Be sure to go like and subscribe. Okay, that's the last time I'm stopping.
in the
Okay.
Western Lake District when I became sick of how busy places like Windermere and Keswick had become. It was no longer peaceful or relaxing
That's
to
a
visit.
lot of people.
It's hard to become one with nature when Barry the bashful 2-year-old is bawling for more biscuits. So I had to find some peace and quiet. And I certainly succeeded in escaping the crowds. It was night and day. Within an hour I went from battling through crowds in Windermere to sitting on the shores of Wastwater with only 10 people in sight. Why was it so quiet here? And bear in mind, all of this footage was taken on a lovely day in the middle of the school holidays, the height of the tourist season. So I got out a map, and then I realised that despite coming to the Lake District dozens of times, I don't think I'd ever come anywhere past this line. Why is that? Well, actually, several reasons as it turned out. The thing is, the Western Lake District is essentially a thin piece of land hidden behind some giant mountains, and you're gonna have to go around them. You would never need to come here unless you wanted to come here.
Okay. That does make sense. If you want to get there, you got to go over the mountains or around the mountains. Because there's no roads over the mountains, right? Which makes sense. Oh yeah, look at that. There's a highway that goes north, there's a highway that goes south, but yeah, let's check out some of this. Let's just randomly find. Okay, here is a photo. I guess this is the west. Scale Force waterfall. Whoa, that's beautiful. Oh, video. Wow. I want to go swimming. Oh, yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Let's just randomly pick a place over here. Get a little closer. Blakely Ray's Stone Circle. What? Oh, okay. Horses. Wow. Oh, it's like an ancient ruin. Thousands of years ago, somebody decided to put stones in a circle. And they're still there. Wow. I'm halfway making fun, but it is cool. Do they say anything about it? Okay, here we go. It's a small stone circle, but well worth a wait. Well worth a visit if you like stone circles. Otherwise, it's a beautiful area with walks in all directions and amazing views you can walk to. Blah, 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 blah. Very cool. Okay, on with the video. Right.
One of the biggest problems for a tourist visiting the Western Lake District is the lack of any towns here. Most of the nearest towns to the Western Lake District have a poor reputation, and tourists tend to avoid places such as Workington and Maryport. Whitehaven is only 8 miles away from the nearest lake, which you think would make it a tourist hotspot, or at least a perfect base. But no, there's hardly any tourists here, and that's because the towns of Western Cumbria have an unfortunate reputation, and nobody wants to be here.
Oh.
I recently visited...
I mean, it does look like the water's brown, you know? And, like, I don't know. I get it. But the nature, like you could have this as your home base. And then go out in the nature.
I recently visited most of these towns and I made a video, and I think specifically Whitehaven does have potential, but work has to be done to repair the damaged reputation. If these towns had more of a welcoming image, people would be able to access the Western Lake District easier. Now, a lot of people stay around the Kendall area due to its closeness to the motorway. It's cheaper than actually staying in the Lake District, and it has easy access to the eastern lakes. But getting to the western lakes from here is a different story. A 20-minute journey is much more manageable than an hour and a half. Now for...
Wait, Whitehaven. I didn't look at that. Show me your number. Whitehaven. There. Okay, y'all. It looks like a pretty sizable city. Copeland Pool and Fitness Center. Look, there's civilization over there. The Fun House. What? Oh, it's like kids' bouncy house. Ball pits and stuff. Fun. Millbury Hill, Whitehaven. That's what he was saying, I think. Right? Country store. Okay. It's not like it's destitute, you know?
For the record, Cockermouth is an okay town on the western side of the Lake District, but it's still pretty quiet. When you get to the Western Lake District, it's hard to even pick up a bottle of water, so you have to make sure you come prepared for your visit. There's nothing here. As humans, we've all gotten incredibly lazy, and unless we can pile ourselves full of food at every possible opportunity, we just can't be happy.
That's true.
But there are no opportunities out in the Western Lake District because there's only about 3 or 4 shops covering roughly 450 square miles.
Can you drink the lake?
So if you haven't come prepared, you better pray you don't have some sort of emergency. And because there's a lack of towns and villages, this means that there's also a lack of accommodation. And without places to stay, there aren't any tourists. There is a couple of scattered hostels just used by walkers, but that's it. I am getting to a point in my life now where I don't particularly want to sleep in a bunk bed with Sven, the Swedish surfer, snoring below me. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who doesn't want to sleep in a dormitory. Not a single spa in the Western Lake District, and I bet...
Can you camp? Is camping allowed? Yeah, let's check Airbnb. Airbnb. Whitehaven. How about October? October 12th through the 18th. Right? I don't know. Okay. I mean, they're expensive, but they're there. 700. Oh, that's for the whole time. Okay. $703 for 6 nights. $677 for 6 nights. 700. Okay. $475 for 6 nights. Okay. That's doable, right?
The Lake District, and I bet that horrifies some people. And unless there's a dramatic shift in planning regulations, there won't be any new settlements here as it's a World Heritage Site, meaning it's incredibly hard to get permission to build any new houses here.
Good,
want to protect
right?
the beauty.
Good.
Yes, the Western Lake District is the kind of place you come to when you really want to get back to the great outdoors. There aren't many amenities here, but at the same time, there aren't really any rules. And I can see this being appealing to some. Unless you're a hiker, you would almost never come here.
I am a hiker.
Hikers really are the only tourists that visit this part of the Lake District due to the mountains that are over here. Scuffell and Scuffell Pike are the 2 tallest mountains, both just shy of 1,000 metres, and hikers do go out their way to visit them. But that's kind of what hikers do, isn't it? Their hobby is going out the way, so they have no trouble visiting the Western Lake District.
Right.
But let's give you some perspective on just how quiet it is over here. Each year, 250,000 people climb Scuffell Pike, which sounds like a lot, until you realise that Snowdonia, a mountain in Wales, receives 10 million visitors a year, and it's only 100 metres taller, so I guess size really does matter. It is the day and age now where, due to social media, there's cool places to take a photo, and Windermere is somewhere people aspire to be. Unfortunately, they don't aspire to take a photo at a deserted lake. Due to the way social media low-key runs our lives, this isn't likely to change until someone decides it's cool to be at Ennerdale. To the average Joe, this might be silly, but trust me, a lot of tourists are deeply controlled by what they see on their social media. And it's silly because to me these lakes are far more dramatic and intimate than the eastern lakes.
Beautiful.
I love the closeness of the mountains to the water.
Yeah.
Westwater is also the deepest lake in England with a depth of 80 metres. So it's got that going for it. Now all that may be bad enough, but this leads me on to my number...
How many feet is 80 meters? Show me on the internet. 80 meters is 262 feet. Okay, wow. That's deep.
one reason why hardly anyone visits the Western Lake District. The roads. Say you're a tourist heading up from London.
Okay.
It may take you 5 hours to reach Windermere. 5 hours is about the maximum most people would want to drive in a day. Well, imagine you're going to the Western Lake District from London. 6 hours, 11 minutes. This place is just isolated and out of the way. I don't think the majority of the people see the value in adding extra time on to visit here. And once you get here, the roads are appalling. This is
Really?
really the only word for them. Unless you're an experienced, confident driver, you really shouldn't even attempt to drive on these roads. You will need to be confident reversing because it's mostly single track roads and you will meet someone, usually at the worst possible time. You may think I'm being dramatic, but that's probably because you're a confident driver. Visiting these sort of places soon reveals who is and who isn't. The amount of drivers who are terrified to reverse is both amusing and also aggravating. Here, not a single A road penetrates this part of the Lake District, and the only roads that exist are country lanes, and poor ones at that. It can take over an hour to drive just 28 miles, so these roads can feel never-ending. The scenery is beautiful though, so if you're a confident driver, many of these roads would be a lot of fun for you. At times, I just had to pull over and admire the beauty of the Western Lake District.
Yeah, look at that.
Sometimes I was the only person in the entire valley.
That's
Other times I
crazy.
didn't choose to stop at all. I was forced to stop by wandering sheep. I personally think it's nice when you reach the end of a country road and you're rewarded with an isolated lake, but others probably aren't, because we're mostly lazy. So in all honesty, unless Whitehaven and Cockermouth can become fashionable, I can't see the Western Lake District ever becoming more popular. If they did, it would drag more people to that part of Cumbria, and therefore they'd visit the Western Lakes. It would be much easier and more convenient to visit them. But at the moment, it's unfortunately a bit of a chore getting here, and maybe that's for the best. Maybe we do need to have the quiet option, the place we can enjoy the lakes in peace and get back to nature. Because if this place ever does get busy, the roads will not be able to cope, and it'll be a 20-mile long traffic jam across a mountain. Let me know, would you visit this part of the Lake District, and what is your favourite lake to visit and why?
I wonder if you could take a boat.
I feel like this has been a strangely positive month on the channel. So up next, we're back to doing what we do best, walking around depressing turd towns.
Great.
Can't have you being too happy, can we? Let me know which county you think Turd Town should visit next. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, comment, share and subscribe to help Turd Towns thrive.
Good advice. Y'all be sure to go to Turd Town and like and subscribe. I think it's amazing that there's a whole channel based on crappy towns in the UK. That's funny. That's a very British thing, right? Amazing. So a lot of it has to do with just the roads. You know, I bet there's not very much upkeep with the roads, you know, because it's so remote. And to do work on the roads is probably more expensive because it's remote. You gotta get the materials out there. You gotta get the crews out there. It's probably just not worth it, considering how many people actually use the road. Okay, let's just zoom in on this road here. What's up with this? Rika? What is this road? Can I drop a dude there? Not a deuce, Turd Town, just a dude. Oh, okay. Let's look at the roads. Very small, but they don't, it's not like they're full of potholes. They're just narrow. But there's room on the sides to get around another car, you know? But I bet if you go up into those mountains, you know, look over here. What's going on over here? Let's drop a dude there. Bagoink. I don't know. These roads look pretty great. Maybe he means like it's tough driving because of all the curves and all that stuff. I've drawn. Oh God, there's some places like that in the Appalachian Mountains where you're on the side of a mountain, and if you just one wrong turn and you're dead. Los Angeles National Forest. I haven't been up there in a couple years, but I shot a film up there. Every day it was a 40-minute drive up these mountainous roads, and it was exhausting. I mean, just to get to the spot on these roads. This is actually, I mean, these roads are worse. Look at all that wear and tear. But they're like 2 lanes at least, so it's not quite as stressful. Anyway, wow. Yeah, the West Lake District, y'all. That seems, oh my God, that's beautiful. Beautiful. It's good to know there's still some spots over there where there's this vast, absolutely gorgeous nature and not a lot of people. If you just make a little bit of an effort to go further away from the tourists, it's a big payoff. That's exciting. Y'all be sure to go to Turd Town and like and subscribe. Maybe give me a like and subscribe if you made it this far in the video. It's almost done. You must have thought it was okay, right? Anyway, I'd like to thank my patrons. I'd like to thank my Buy Me a Coffee folks. Thank you guys. Thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see you next time. Later.